4 observations about Afghanistan. Observation number 1, a big mistake was made in Afghanistan. But I'm not talking about the last 72 hours. I'm talking about the initial decision to go in 20 years ago with a shotgun blast instead of a sniper's approach. This should have been handled more or less through the military as a law enforcement matter. In other words, go in, kill those responsible for the events of September 11, and then get the hell out. No nation building, no regime changing, no longer trying to force feed democracy upon people who don't want it or don't value it. Observation number 2, the pace through which the Taliban were able to retake the entire country is confirmation of the inevitability of all of this. This is the way that it would have looked like in 5 months, in 5 years, or in 50 years. The pace with which they so quickly took control all over lets us all know that there was no way to change the ultimate outcome unless we stayed forever. And who among us wants to stay forever? Observation number 3, why would we fight for people who won't fight for themselves? We spent $83 billion training and equipping, and they fell without really any type of a gunfight. What it lets you know is that operating through proxies and trying to instill democracy through proxies, that's no match for religious fanaticism. And something else, they have more patience than we ever will. We make decisions in this country predicated on 140 character tweets. That's not the way that they operate. Final observation number 4, criticize President Biden for the execution, criticize President Biden for the timeline, criticize President Biden for having rejected some of the advice of people around him as to the mechanics of how to get this done. But I'm not going to pillory the president for the tough call that he made, which was to finally bring this to a close. He did what all of his predecessors would have liked to have done, but didn't have the political stomach to carry out. And the question that I would ask to someone who feels differently about the fundamental decision of leaving Afghanistan, are you prepared for your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your grandson or daughter to go and fight there in perpetuity? And I'm sure the answer to that is no. It's complicated. It's sad. The execution of it is subject to criticism, but the right call is made. It's time to leave Afghanistan.